We're at the 2017 National Championship in Boston, Georgia. I'm here with Lynn Troy. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Pat.
Congratulations. This is Lynn's first national championship. And she's super excited. She's running a great trial so far, so everybody wish her luck. And my good friend Ryan Brasseaux. Ryan,
how are you?
Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the fourth series that's going on the other side of the tent that feels like a fifth series because it's a second set of landmarks. And if you look over my shoulder, you can take a look at the test here. And Ryan, why don't you explain a little bit about the test?
Well, I see right here you have wind 8 miles per hour, and that's probably closer to what it is now. But basically, you got a simulated hen flyer on a duck. Then the long bird is under the arc, and then this bird's substantially out of the test, and you pick it up 1, 2, 3, and as the wind shifts, well, this morning it was blowing probably 15.
It did
was
kick
more
up.
cross. You know, and they had dogs pretty wide, and they would just run straight down the hill to the birds.
So I'm going to blow that up a little bit.
Somewhere in here, they'd smell it.
Yeah.
Straight to it.
So the wind was blowing kind of this
More
way at that
crosswind,
time?
Yep. More crosswind.
Okay.
And when they had a gun change, and right before the gun change, I was in the holding blind, ran right after the gun change. The wind had actually turned and was blowing this
That way.
That's right.
So can you hear that very well, everybody? Ryan was saying the wind has started blowing this direction.
And you could see it with the handles. There was 3 or 4 out of 10 dogs when it shifted, because the ones that would get here,
And earlier,
right.
if you kind of rolled into this area, you were getting sent off this bird.
That's right. That's right.
So how did it go for you?
It went pretty good, but the 3 dogs in front of me, and as they were changing the guns, the wind laid down and started doing this again, puffing up from this direction. What I'm sure it's blowing now, it feels like out there. And you know, when the wind was going this way, it probably would make the flyer easier. You know, you get under the arc and
right.
you
get a long flyer.
You get a long flyer. But it made this bird really hard if they pushed off of this fall, which is what most dogs are doing. When they end up out here, they're getting some push here, and they just want out of there. And then there's big hill with hay bales, and they think it's got to be there.
So I'm going to flip to the other diagram here. Let's see. Yep, here we go.
Yep.
Lynn, come on over here. I'm going to ask you a question or two.
Okay.
First question is the first bird shot. Go ahead and point at that. How difficult was it to pick out that gun with the gunners on the mound? Can you see? You guys can see? Great.
That was the surprising thing with my dog, because she didn't want to look there at all. So she came up and she picked out those flyers, and then I wanted to flip between these two, and she just really paddled her feet and looked at that long bird.
And make sure we keep our voices up, guys. Okay, so she saw that gun good.
Yep. And so she did. She flipped between the two of them, but once this bird went off, she went there, and I really had to try to, move a little bit and get out of her way, hoping that she'd look back at
What
me.
side did you run off of?
She's left-sided only.
She's left-sided only. Okay, so that wasn't done.
Right.
Okay, so couple things. Point out. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. What are the reasons the dogs were going left, in your opinion?
Look, in relation to this fall.
Okay.
I'm sure the wind
And
So-
then it's hard to say, but from what Lynn said, if you think about it, I didn't really necessarily have that problem, but if that's the case, if they watch this one, and they sneak back to this flyer, and they don't watch this one, they go get this one, and maybe in their brains, already got that bird.
They've already got a bird to the right. That's right.
Right.
Already got it.
Lynn-
And this looks like an inviting place to go.
Yeah.
Lynn, how much do you think the hay bales up there? Because there are times they really showed up,
Right.
and times they don't seem so obvious.
Well, and I think there were quite a few dogs that took that line because people worked at it so hard, and then when they got to this open area, they just said, "Oh, there's
They
some up
hunted
there."
their way up the hill.
Yep.
Because so many of the retired birds here and always are behind hay bales.
Right.
And the tree line, I mean, if they indicate a mark, it may help them get to the bird, but if they're a little gray, it's going to really push them out to here.
Ryan, you've run a number of nationals. Early series nationals, conditions change a lot. Obviously, this is one of those scenarios to some degree. It seems like sometimes the test is extremely difficult. Sometimes you almost couldn't screw it up if you tried.
Right. and it happens. But you got to be aware of it.
What do you think are the factors? What, lighting?
Lighting, wind, sometimes the gunners.
So,
I mean, every rotation, the flyer fall may change in a consistent spot.
very good. Well, there's a little bit of stuff about our 4th series, and I hope you had enjoyed some of that. Lynn, good luck
Thank
with
you.
the rest of the trial.
Thank you.
Ryan, you as well.
Thank you, Pat.
And we'll see you all later.